Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Well, ladies and gentlemen, respectable Mr. Trimizi as our lecturer for this subject. We are from English Education Department, especially A, and me myself as the first speaker, I would like to explain about the pedagogical constructive analysis. And my second speaker, he is Mr. Irfan. He will enrich my material and he will focus on its psychological basis. Well, ladies and gentlemen, something that we have to know that is about pedagogical constructive analysis. What is the meaning of that? Where basically pedagogical constructive analysis was used extensively in field of second language acquisition, or it is called as SLA, as a method of explaining why some features of the target language are more difficult to acquire than others. Means that second language acquisition, or SLA, is used as a method where it is supposed to explain some features the target of the second language. And Alice or Barquizan 2005 have already stated that CA, or it is well known as constructive analysis, involves describing comparable features across the two languages, identifying the differences and then predicting what errors learners would make. Jadi Alice dan Barquizan ini sudah menjelaskan bahwa CA itu menjelaskan tentang beberapa fitur bahasa atau dua bahasa yang mana untuk mengidentifikasi perbedaan serta memprediksi sebuah kesalahan atau error yang akan dilakukan oleh seorang pembelajar. Selain itu, CA also serve two major purposes. First is to provide an explanation for why learners make error, and secondly, it serves a source of information for identifying which structural areas of the TL teachers needed to teach. Jadi, purpose dari CA sendiri adalah pertama yaitu untuk menjelaskan kenapa learners itu membuat sebuah kesalahan. Yang kedua juga memberikan sebuah informasi untuk mengidentifikasi struktur area yang dibutuhkan oleh seorang guru dalam pembelajaran bahasa seperti itu. Therefore, the proponent of constructive analysis maintained that once the areas of potential difficulty have been mapped out of CA, it would be possible to design language course more efficiently. Constructive analysis, along with behavioral psychology and structural linguistics, had a profound effect on SLA curriculum design and language teacher education, and it's provide the theoretical foundation of audiolingual method. One thing, pedagogical constructive analysis rests on the underlying assumption of behavioristic psychology. It inspires by ideas of Skinner, view first language acquisition essentially as the formation of a new habit acquired through the repetition and strengthened by the reinforcement of correct responses. Also, constructive analysis is founded on the assumption that the second foreign language learners will tend to transfer to their second language formal features of their first language. Jadi constructive analysis juga ditemukan sebagai asumsi untuk pembelajaran bahasa asing yang akan mentransfer dari bahasa satu ke bahasa dua. Seperti itu. Individual tends to transfer the forms and the meaning, and the distribution of form first and meaning of their native language and culture to the foreign language and culture. Both productivity when attempting to speak the language and respectively when attempting to grasp and understand the language as predicted by native. Maybe only that's what I can explain you, and my second speaker will enlarge my explanation. They will come out with his argumentation about its psychological basis on constructive analysis. And the last I say is Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The rest explanation based on the first presenter, I would like to give this study on focused constructive analysis and pedagogical basis. Well, students, let me introduce yourself. Me, myself, Irfan Wahyudi, the second presenter after the first presenter. We are from the second group. The first presenter is actually Iskandar Dz-Irfan, and the second one is me, myself, Irfan Wahyudi. To keep up the next explanation, it is about the constructive analysis pedagogical basis. It is constructive based on this flyer. The individual transfer and the form of the meaning, the language, that is really different from the culture, because the language has different meaning with the mother language and the second language as the native language or foreign language. Alright, they feel like difficult when they try to speak the second language as the native language or the language target, and they also feel like difficult how to receive the second language as the language target, how to pick, then attempt and try to understand and catch the target language, and how they apply, elaborate and explain the best or the true product of the language. Alright, the second flyer, structure linguistic with strong belief that language greatly differ another and that only offer observable data should be analyzed. Here, the language structure, which very believe that the second language is really different. The first and the another one. This data is analyzed, which can or must be identification the difficulty about the language. This language produce what it is, the tool of learning process that can solve the difficulty of language. They do this with the systematic to catch and get the language target identity speaker, which Delado said that the key to less difficulty on learning process the second language or native language or foreign language is placed the comparison between or among the two language, that the second language and the mother language or the main language of mother language and native language. Here, the difference between studying about the language, they feel like difficult how to speak and how to receive the second language because it is the target language of the student. And here the summary of the conclusion of this study today. Therefore, based on this guideline material were designed a way to ensure that as far as possible learner promote without error. Means that the student based on this research, this material arranged by ensure the student how long they study the language, the student is provided without making any troubles, without making any error, without making any mistakes on the language learning process. Then let them try first, let them study first without care about how its language or the second language as the language target, because it is feel like difficult to learn than best language or mother language. Okay, finally we are arriving at the end of my explanation. I do apologize on the faults and the weakness of this explanation today. Forgive us of the second presenter and the second group. If you have any question so far that you don't understand about this study, you can do ask to us and we will have deep discussion on this study. Thanks so far your nice attention. Breaking your daily activities, and I say you Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.